Hey everyone, this is 1.1 Sketching Nets of 3D Figures. This is the last lesson in section 1.1 and you'll be having a quiz tomorrow. Okay, so your instructions are to sketch the net of each given geometric figure. The definition of a net is, if we don't remember from the other day, fill this in, a two-dimensional shape formed by unfolding a three-dimensional figure. Okay, so fill that definition in. A two-dimensional shape formed by unfolding a three-dimensional figure. Okay, feel free to pause the video, jot down your definition, hit resume when you're ready. This 3D figure that we're given here is a cube. Okay, on the very first day of this chapter, we did a lot of unfolding cubes, looking at their net, folding the net back up into the 3D figure. So we know that there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 being the front wall, and 6, right? So we need 6 squares, essentially. And if you were to fold this up, I'm going to keep my base square right here. If I unfolded the sides, they would go out to the left and to the right. If I unfolded the front, meaning right here, it would come down. The back wall, sorry guys. The back wall, meaning this one back here, would unfold this way. And the top, meaning the lid right here, would also be attached to that. Now, could you have drawn this the other way? Of course. With the extra cube on the bottom, absolutely, on the left, on the right. As long as you have those 6 cubes and they would fold up, that's perfectly fine. Your next one. Okay, this is considered a cuboid. Cuboid. Okay, it has a very similar net to the cube that we just did, except instead of squares, we're now going to use rectangles. Okay, so the base or the bottom of this cuboid right here is your first step. Okay, and very similarly, if you folded the sides down, meaning the shorter sides like this one and this one back here, they would fold this way. And then again, all you have to do is fold the sides down, meaning the longer ones, right here and right here. And then you put the roof of this cuboid on either the top or the bottom. Next 3D figure we have is a cone. Okay, cones are a little tricky. First thing is, you know, the base of the cone right here is a circle. Okay, so do your best, draw a circle. Now, if I were to cut this cone, meaning right here, and unfold it, okay, it would start with a point, and it would come around and look just like this. So it literally looks like a person wearing a hat. Okay, so remember that. Cone is a circle and essentially a triangle, or a curved triangle above it. Next one, we should know this one. Cylinder. Okay, a cylinder has a base of a circle and the top of a circle. So now I need 2 circles. 1, 2. And again, if I was to cut the side of this cylinder and unravel it, it would actually become just a rectangle. Next, we have a triangular prism. Okay, the base of your triangular prism is a rectangle. So start out with that rectangular base. The sides here and here are triangles. So on the sides, fold those triangles out. But the front wall and the back wall, right here and right here, are two rectangles again. So put one on the top and one on the bottom. And there is your triangular prism. Next one. It's a tough one to name if you count the sides of the base. It's a six-sided figure. That's a hexagon. So this is called a hexagonal prism. Okay, and like we said, we know the base is a six-sided figure. Okay, so do the best you can with that six-sided figure. Okay, but if you take a look, all of the sides are rectangles. So on each of the sides, just add a rectangle. Okay, and then you need to attach your hexagon that's on top, because we only have drawn the base, the one on the bottom. We still need to put this one in. So attach that to any of the rectangles. And there's your hexagonal prism. Next one. Oh, and I just noticed I have two of the same in here. So number 7, okay, is, we should know this one, it has a square base and triangular sides. That's a pyramid. Okay. Start out with your square base, and all 4 sides are triangles. So this one's pretty straightforward. Okay. Number 8 is the same as number 7, so skip over that. Number 9. If you look on the bottom again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-sided figure. So again, this is a hexagon, but it's a hexagonal. Now this isn't a prism this time because all the sides are triangles, they come to a point, so it's a hexagonal pyramid. So start out with your base of a hexagon. And now all of the sides are actually just going to have triangles. Okay. Now for the remaining images, you'll notice that they're all real-life images. What I want you to do is draw the net for each of them. So feel free to pause the video now. Okay, attempt them on your own, and then resume the video, and we'll see what happens when you guys are done. Okay. So if I took this Domino's box, if we notice it has not a regular pizza box shape because it kind of cuts in a little bit in this spot, here and here. But if I was to unfold this pizza box, okay, we would know that it would look like this. Okay. And then here's the lid, flipped open. And then the base would be pretty much the opposite. Okay, but we also know with pizza boxes, when you unfold them, they have those tabs on the side, right? So this is kind of a unique one. I just picked it because I'm pretty sure we're all familiar with what the inside of a pizza box looks like. Okay, so this one's tough. This one was a little abstract. All right, you fold down the sides and the little tabs, and then you have your flat pizza box. Coca-Cola can. So we know, again, this is a cylinder, right? So if we go back to our cylinder, we know it's a circle, a rectangle, and another circle. So draw it in. Circle, ugly circle. Circle, rectangle, and another circle. What you should do is try to get them to touch, okay? So I can cheat and sort of move mine, but make sure they're touching. Okay. Okay, this is a well-known structure in Paris, France, okay? It's called the Louvre Pyramid. It's totally glass, right? You could see through the whole thing. You could walk around the entire thing. It's a pretty big attraction in Paris. So you know, looking at this, that all of the sides are triangles and we have the base of a square, so this is a pyramid. Base is a rectangle, or a square, I should say. And all of your sides are triangles. Okay. Your next one, you have a regular die, or geometrically, we know it's a cube. Okay, so it's squares. And again, you unfold all the sides and add the top. Next one, you go to your grandma or grandpa's house, right? They always got one of these laying around, one of those original gourmet premium cookie tins. Now, this time, again, you know, this is a very large circle, and it doesn't have a lot of depth to it. However, we know that this is still a cylinder, but it's going to look a little different from our Coke can, okay, because the Coke can is taller than the circles are round, but in this case, the sides or the circles are much larger than the actual can itself. So I'm going to have a much larger circle followed by a much thinner rectangle and followed again by a large circle. And you can make fun of me, that's okay, because my circles are horrendous. Okay, these, I tried to give you a little perspective on them by showing a few different angles, okay? If you notice, the sides are flat, okay, but the edge or the front and the back of the crayon itself, meaning here, are triangular. Oops. So we know that these crayons are a triangular prism. Okay? So how are we going to show a triangular prism? Well, let's go back. Here's your triangular prism, much like the crayon. Okay, we started out with rectangles and put triangles on the sides. So, here's your rectangle. Here's your triangles on the sides. Last but not least, you have this drum here, and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Six-sided drum. So what did we call that six-sided figure with depth to it? A hexagonal prism. So here's your hexagonal prism. Start out with a hexagon. All of the sides that we noted before are rectangles. These ones are a little more squarish in this case. And again, you have to throw another hexagon in there. And there's your hexagonal prism. All right, look these over for tomorrow. You're going to need to know on your quiz sketching nets. You're going to need to know orthographic drawing, meaning drawing the front, the right side, and the top view. And you're also going to need to know isometric drawing, meaning making that 3D figure on dot paper like we did yesterday. So review those lessons. You should be well prepared for your quiz.